Drop the brace.
What's up guys, Jiggy here, and today I've got a video for you just pointing out a few of the uses of divination, of course the newest skill, seeing as people have been questioning a lot how useful it actually is in the real game and what they can actually do with it really. So first up we've got Portents of Restoration, which are essentially food that you don't have to physically click in order for them to heal you. These are really useful in situations where you want to be concentrating on like exactly what you're doing, as in clicking abilities, knowing which abilities, perhaps moving about. So something like Calfight King, where on the mage phase you have to be running, trying to avoid any of the ball attacks. So you don't really want to be watching your health at this point. So in that situation they are really useful. They're also very good on Slayer for any tasks where you may have to actually eat food, such as water fiends or a Calfight task when you're in the Calfight hive. They can also be very useful at next, but only if you have the highest tier of them, because you want to be healing as much as possible per food at next. And they also have the added ability that they don't take adrenaline when you use them, so you're not going to be wasting your adrenaline that you can be used on higher level attacks to kill next quicker. So the next divination use I want to talk about are the signs of item protection. So everyone of course hates losing their things when they die, and although a lot of the areas of Runescape are a lot safer now, there are still a few where if you die you will actually lose your things. So having this portent available to you can be really useful, especially when used in conjunction with the item protect prayer. So the sort of areas you want to be thinking about using this are, I would say, Corp Beast, because for the fact that you don't actually get a grave, so saving that extra item could prevent you losing something valuable. And the other area I would say would be God Wars Dungeon, where you have to get a kill count to actually get back into the room, which may prove slightly difficult for the lower level players who are actually doing it. Of course, there is another option available to you when you want to save an extra item, and that would be the Sign of Respite, which actually adds timer onto your gravestone. But really this is only going to help you if you have one of the higher level gravestones, because although 6 minutes may seem a long time, which is the top Sign of Respite, it actually isn't that much more if you're trying to get something like a kill count. The next use of divination I want to talk about is one that I think a few people may not have actually heard of before, and that is the Signs of the Porter. And these are something essentially which you wear in the pocket slot, and when you receive an item into your inventory, be that picking it up or harvesting it from something, it actually goes straight into your bank, and each tier of them has a varying amount of how many items it sends to your bank before it's destroyed. But they are actually very useful, and as you can see in the clip, I think this is the most profitable way to probably use them, and that is by killing blue dragons and picking up their dragon hides, as it sends those straight to the bank, and currently they're at a very high price, and due to the low prices of actually making the portents themselves, it will take you one drop to actually break even on your portent pretty much right now. So as you can see, at the end I total everything up that I made, and I used 2 sips of Super Anti, which is around 10 minutes, 12 minutes, and from that I made just under 400k, which around average can make up to between 2 and 2.5 million GP per hour depending on combat level, so it's definitely something worth looking into. And there are also other uses for it, not combat related, such as using it for mining, fishing, anything where you actually get a material into your inventory that the portent can send back, so it's definitely worth looking at. It's definitely worth noting, however, that the portent can only send some specific items back, and not in fact every item. The next divination use I want to talk about are the divine skill plots, which are movable skill plots that you are able to put down once a day per person, and you are able to gather resources from them depending on which type you've made. So there are hunter box traps, there are trees for wood cutting, there are rocks for mining, and there are also patches for farming. And really they are useful if you have a large group of people and you're the one putting it down, as you gain noted or stackable resources depending on how many other people are actually on it with you, as well as what you collect yourself. But if you're going to do it solo, it's not really worth it because you're basically going to get back what you put into it. And despite it being a nice little bit of XP, it's not enough XP to efficiently train on really. And this is due to it being once a day. If you are wanting to put one of these spots down and have a lot of people gather the resources with you, then you want to be going to the more highly populated areas of RuneScape, such as maybe the G at World 2, Daemonheim during sinkholes, as that can get quite populated, or maybe World 89 Fish Flingers, because as that becomes very, very populated, especially slightly later in the evening. And this will help you get that little bit of extra XP, maybe, which is a nice little bonus XP, I guess, but it will also gather you a few more resources, which you could sell on, make a bit of profit, and no one ever said no to a few more GP. And finally, the last use is going to be one that is specifically used in dungeoneering, and that is the Portent of Passage, which is essentially, it works like a boost pot would in DG, but it's significantly easier to actually get, and it can also boost a lot more levels, so it's going to be a lot easier to boost up to that 106 mining door that you may not be able to do before due to not being able to find the right herbs, not having money to buy the seconds, etc. So it's definitely something that you want to look into, as the extra XP from opening the bonus doors in DG can really make a difference if you're having to consistently boost to a door, and you don't want to be leaving too many doors unopened. So hopefully this clears up a little bit about how divination is actually used in the game itself, and so people start perhaps using it for other things than just as a gathering skill, and they're going to use their energies for something other than just saving up for the next skill, because obviously we know it's going to be a production skill, which it seems likely that we're going to have to use these energies for, as it can actually give you a bit of a boost in XP and can also be quite good for making money. So yeah, this has been Jiggy from FullHouseRS, and I'll see you soon hopefully for the next video.